There's a lot of things that I love, and a lot of people think things that we love. The first thing we think of is sports, hobbies, family, money. All those amazing things that we're blessed with to have in this life. What comes to your mind when I ask you name something you love? Put it down in the comments. The first thing right now that comes to mind when I ask you something that you love. Now, hopefully, you're typing something in the comments as we speak. So let me get this out of the way. I am Tyson with Faithfully Bearded, and I love many, many, many things. But as I get older, I'm finding out the things that I really love are more of the little things in life. And let me explain that in a second. So let's get this stuff out of the way. The thumbs up, the sharing, the commenting, the making sure you're subscribed and the bells hitting, and making sure that that I'm Tyson with Faithfully Bearded, and this is an amazing beard channel where we had an awesome live stream last night where we launched a company, and it's like 8-bit beard company. It's themed after video games that really take me back to my childhood, and so. But let's dig into a couple of things. The point of this video that I want to talk about are the things that people love. All right. Okay. So here, let's get into it right now. All right. So hopefully you have your comment typed down in the comments below, something that you loved. When somebody asks you what's something that you love, and I'm coming to realize more and more how much I love learning, lessons. And a lot of times we think of that as a negative thing. We talk about our kids and we're like, oh, lesson learned, or you're going to learn your lesson, or, something like that. And I just think I want to think about it a different way. And I want you guys to think about it a different way. Think about all the lessons that we learn in life, right? And it starts when we're little. We touch a hot stove, we get burned. That's a life lesson that we learned. We learn that, that thing's hot, don't touch it, so you learn something from it. And, we learn, if you spend all your money at the day you get paid and don't pay your bills, the bills still come, so you have to figure out how you're going to pay your bills. And so we learn budgeting, and we learn things like that. We do something, we don't get the result we want, or we do get the result we want. We learn the outcome of that action, right? Some people call them consequences. Some people call them rewards. Some people call them, anything is you learn that something that happens has a reaction or an outcome. All right. And so one of the things that I'm kind of hitting on right now that I'm learning, and that, I just realized that I love learning. I love research. I love learning. I love finding out about things. I love finding out that if you do this, you get this. I love building things. I love finding, different ways to do things and learning. It's all about learning and adapting and overcoming, or learning, continue doing, making better, And one of the things that I'm driving to this morning, I wake up and I'm driving Aubrey to school and stuff. And one of the things I'm thinking is, I'm kind of rehashing the live stream last night, and I'm like, there's a lot of beard companies rebranding. And a lot of times people are like, well, why are you rebranding? And people think about it in a sort of a negative way. But I like to think about it in a positive way, because what's happening is these companies, they launch their products, and not to say that they're bad or anything like that, but they learn. Right? They're learning through the process, and then they come up with maybe a better way to do it. So what do? They rebrand, they relaunch, and it's always so unique and better, and it's not just another run-of-the-mill beard company. There's different things. They're learning. For example, last night, 8-Bit Beard Company launched. He learned that business for him needs to be fun. So he made it fun, something that would be fun and entertaining for him, which would be talking about video games, because we can talk about video games. Like, even if you're not into video games, you still kind of know Zelda and all these types of video games. So it's kind of cool like that to see that not only do we on an everyday basis as parents try to teach our kids lessons, not only do we as human beings learn every single day. You learn that if you do something, this is what's going to happen. But companies and people in business are starting to, be more open to learning and adapting and changing. And to me, that's just amazing. So I'm thinking about learning, and I'm just like, how do we learn all the things that we learn about, and just think about all the amazing types of things that we learn. If you take a left here, it takes me 5 minutes longer to get to work than if I take a right here. And you learn those lessons by doing them or by, just having that experience. So as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized that learning is such an huge aspect of our life. We don't just learn when we're in school. We don't just learn when we're being trained at work or when we're training. We're always learning. And that's something that I want to keep in your guys' mind, to always be learning and to understand that when you hit that like button, it helps the channel. When you watch the videos and when you watch it all the way through, it helps the channel. So that's the repercussion of what you're doing, and that's a good thing. The consequences aren't always bad. Consequences can be good. You go to work. The consequence of going to work is you get a paycheck. The consequence is such a word that is always taken in a negative, a derogatory meaning, but there is consequences to everything that we do, good or bad. And so it's one of those things that I think about, and I try to keep my mindset wrapped around of there's good consequences too. I don't like to associate the word consequence with negative. Anyway, now I'm starting to go down a rabbit trail. I'm veering left when I should be veering right. And, that's a lesson that I know is I can learn, I can talk, and I can keep going on and on and on. So that's the moral of this video is I love learning, and everything we do is learning. Just keep your mind open to learning. So now that we've talked about what, the point of what I want, do you love learning? Let me hear it down in the comments below. Do you love learning? What is one of the things that maybe you've learned recently that you don't necessarily think about it as learning? So go ahead and comment that down below. Something that we don't necessarily always think of as learning, but something that you did something, you found the consequence. Like, you leave a Sharpie lying around and a 1-year-old picks it up and draws on the wall. Consequence, right? You understand now that if you leave a Sharpie laying around, your child is going to pick it up, draw over the wall, and you're going to have to scrub it off. Sorry, Mason, had to call you out on that one. So it's always learning, a learning process, and I love learning. I hope you love learning too. And so go ahead and learn that commenting is amazing, and liking and sharing and subscribing and all the things like that help the channel grow. Thumbs down, thumbs up, likes, shares, subscribes, all of it. Again, I am Tyson with Faithfully Bearded, and I thank you for watching this video. If you are into the beard content, there's more amazing videos on this channel, but one that I'm particularly proud of is the Beard Porosity series, where it helps you to learn the type of hair that you're growing on your face so you can best care for it with oils that work with your skin and hair. So go ahead and check out the Porosity series. I would love that. I think you'll learn something from it, which is amazing as well. So until I talk to you guys again soon, I hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Be bearded, be you, and God bless.